Hey folks, this is Kalani. The Midnight expansion is finally here. We can explore the new and updated zones of Kel'Thalas, level up to the new max of 90, and chase Xal'atath into the mysterious Voidstorm. But there are some important things I would do first on launch day, and some other things I would make sure you do while leveling to ensure you don't miss out on progression, you don't do too many things you don't necessarily need to, and to give you some options for leveling as efficiently as you can. So let's go over what we recommend you do first on launch day and some things you really shouldn't miss. Now before we jump in, be sure to hit up that like button and subscribe so you never miss another video. The first thing you should do when early access becomes available, or when Midnight launches if you don't have early access, is to log onto all of the alts that you might want to level sometime soon. That will get their rested experience going, so when you come back to them later on, you'll have some rested experience saved up, which will speed up your alt leveling quite a bit. With that out of the way, you'll want to grab the first character you want to level and pop by your capital city to get started with the intro quest line for Midnight. You should get a pop-up quest when you log in, pointing you towards Liadrin, either in Stormwind or Orgrimmar. Just follow the huge pillar of light. You're looking for the shiny gold people. They're very hard to miss. After working your way through the introduction experience, you're going to end up in Silvermoon, our new base of operations for all things Midnight. While you're here, I would strongly recommend you set your hearthstone to Silvermoon. Not only is this our new hub for the expansion, but every zone connects to Silvermoon as well. To reach Harandar or the Voidstorm, you take portals from Silvermoon, and you'll be asked to return to Silvermoon quite often, so shortening that trek back is very useful, and it's just the perfect central location for your hearthstone. Now before we continue with the story quests, you should pick up your Midnight professions in Silvermoon. All of the profession trainers can be found along this strip here, so they're super easy to find. If you're planning on running with a gathering profession, this is super important, especially if you are swapping from a different profession. If you don't learn your professions before you head out into the world, you could miss out on a whole bunch of resources and experience. So make sure you at least have mining or herbing learned if you're wanting to gather while you level. If you plan on only having crafting professions at max level, you don't necessarily have to learn your Midnight versions right away, but I would do it anyway so you can check out all the new recipes and which ones you can craft while you level up to 90. If you aren't tied to your professions and you're happy swapping them around, I would pick up mining and herbing while you level up. Every ore and herb node will give you some experience when gathered, and you can either sell the materials that you get on the auction house for some quick gold, or use them to fuel some crafting recipes later on. You can also keep all of the gear rewards from quests and pick up enchanting at max level to disenchant all of the gear that you don't need and sell those enchanting materials while they're still expensive. Then you can swap your professions to whatever you actually want to use at endgame. With your profession sorted and your hearthstone set, it's time to pick up where you left off on the campaign story quest line. You want to focus on the main campaign quests first and foremost, because you have to complete the campaign to unlock world quests, events, and various important weekly activities, so this should be your first main goal. The campaign starts off quite linear, everyone has to go through Eversong Woods first, but after that it does open up quite a bit. You can choose between Arator's questline, moving on to Zul'Aman, or heading down into the roots of Harandar. The order in which you do the zones doesn't super matter. Zul'Aman is arguably faster, and if you want to unlock the Haranir allied race as soon as possible, you'll want to head down to Harandar to complete the main story questlines there. The Haranir will not be available in early access though, so you'll have to wait until the full launch to create the new allied race. When you've completed all of those zones, you'll head into the Voidstorm to finish up the initial story questline of Midnight. Finishing the campaign also unlocks adventure mode for your alts, which lets them level up through any zone, and they'll have world quests available immediately, so you'll have a few more options for how to level up your alts. You also unlock the alt skip for the introduction experience, which can save you a good chunk of time, especially if you're leveling up a whole bunch of characters. As you level up in Midnight, you're going to be earning some new talent points. By the time you reach level 90, you'll have 3 talents to spend in the class tree, 3 talents to spend in your hero talent tree, and 4 talents for your spec tree for 10 new talent points total. You can spend these however you want. You don't really get much choice with the hero talent tree, but when you hit level 81, you'll unlock the apex talents down at the bottom of your specialization tree. These are usually very impactful and can change up how your rotation works. Most classes will want to dump all 4 new talent points into the Apex talent, so I guess you don't really get too much choice for the spec tree points either. At least the Apex talents are somewhat interesting, and most of them are quite powerful. As you work your way through the zones, you should also try to explore every nook and cranny to unlock the exploration achievements before you move on to the next zone. I know a lot of folks probably do this already, but there's an extra incentive to exploring in Midnight. While you can drag and ride freely through every Midnight Zone baseline right from the get-go, you won't be able to use the steady flight flying option until you have completed the new Pathfinder achievement. Thankfully, the achievement is quick and easy. You just have to complete the main storyline of each zone, which we'll be doing anyway because we need to finish the campaign for all sorts of other important unlocks, but the other requirement is to explore every Midnight Zone. So if you explore the zones as you go, you should earn the Pathfinder achievement right as you finish the campaign, which unlocks steady flying for you. Then you can use whichever flight style you prefer for the rest of the expansion. It's also worth picking up every flight path that you come across while leveling for 2 main reasons. The first is that flight paths are account-wide unlocks, so you only ever have to grab them once, and then all of your ults will have them unlocked as well. That can help you get around while leveling your ults later on, and it lets you fly to new questing areas or hubs without having already explored them. The other reason is to unlock the Midnight Flight Master achievement. All you have to do is pick up every major flight path, so that's easy enough. Now, the War Within version of this achievement rewarded a speed boost for flight paths, making them 25% faster. That does seem to be missing for the Midnight version, so hopefully that's added in sometime after launch. Either way, it's an easy achievement, it might give you a speed boost later on, and you'll want the flight paths for your ults as well. While you're working through the story quests, you will have to go through a couple of delves. These work in more or less the same way as they did during the War Within, except we've got a new delve companion. I would complete all delves on tier 1 while leveling up to clear them faster. You can only go up to tier 3 before you hit max level anyway, and the extra rewards aren't really worth the extra time or effort. Now, you'll only have to do a handful of delves as part of the campaign, and there are 10 new delves total. Each one will have a quest at the start which provides you with a big experience reward, so it's not a bad idea to clear each delve you come upon at least once just to knock out that quest and get that big XP reward. The experience from these quests does scale with your level, so if you want to maximize your experience gains, you should hold on to your delve quests and turn them in when you're towards the end of your leveling journey. Around 88 would probably be fine. If you do a lot of delves on your way to 90 and you save all the quests, you could probably skip over an entire level or more right at the end. When you've reached max level with your first character and completed the campaign, you can start poking around the new endgame content on offer like important weekly activities, special assignment world quests, the zone-specific world events, new weekly quests, and you can start gearing up for Season 1. If you're not too sure where to start, a good rule of thumb is to check your map for key quest icons. Any quest that has a purple icon are very important and usually unlock new features or systems, and then any blue spiky icons are meta quests that usually signifies a key weekly quest that should have some very nice rewards. Personally, I would start by unlocking Prey, the brand new endgame feature in Midnight. You'll need to pop by Astalor's Sanctum, which can be found underneath the inn in Silvermoon, and talk to Astalor. He'll send you off on a few quests and teach you how this new system works. You'll hunt down specific Prey targets, which make your open world adventures a bit harder, and you'll be able to pick up rewards on par with the Delve system. After that, you want to keep an eye out for the Unity against the Void meta weekly quest in Silvermoon. This will ask you to pick from a few different quest choices, but they all reward the same thing, so just pick the one that sounds most interesting or easiest to you. This weekly quest is probably the most important one because it rewards you with your weekly Radiant Sparks, which can be used to craft high item level gear, and you'll get an Apex cache full of gear and currencies as well. There are a few other important quests you'll want to look out for as they open up different weekly activities. For example, you can pick up the quest Saltheral's Haven in Silvermoon. If you follow that through, you'll unlock the Saltheral's Soiree weekly event in Eversong Woods, where you pick a faction to work with for the week. You can earn a bunch of different cosmetic rewards, but there's also a weekly quest with a pinnacle cash reward, so that's definitely worth completing. The next quest to pick up and complete is the Abundant Lands in Zul'Aman. This one unlocks the Abundance World events and shows you how they work. There's one event in each zone and they rotate, so you'll need to check each zone to find out where the event currently is. Don't forget to pick up the weekly quest, which rewards you with another Pinnacle Cache. Then we also have the Legends of the Haranir weekly event in Harandar with another Pinnacle Cache to pick up. And then the last event is in the Voidstorm zone. This one is called Stormarian Assault, and it's a pretty cool tower defense style event with, you guessed it, another Pinnacle Cache reward. You can also start knocking out world quests. Each world quest can reward some half-decent gear upgrades at the very start of the expansion, and they should all reward some reputation with the zone's faction. Special assignment world quests are returning, and they offer you another chance to get a weekly box of goodies. You'll need to complete 3 world quests in the same zone as the special assignment to unlock them. Now, depending on how all of this lines up, you might want to actually wait on some of these activities because they can reward huge chunks of reputation. All of the weekly activities reward 1,000 renown or more in some cases, and with them being weekly, that reward is quite limited. The reason you might want to wait is that the Darkmoon Fair rolls back into town on March 1st, just before the full midnight launch. They should be offering their usual 10% bonus experience and reputation gains buff, which should give you a pretty significant head start on your renown farming if you wait to complete the big ticket items until you have the buff. The same goes for any other major source of reputation. The big ones that come to mind are side quests and lore items. There are so many side quests scattered around each zone, and their primary reward is reputation or renown with that zone's faction. With side quests being one-time rep rewards, I would encourage you to wait until you can pick up the Darkmoon Fair buff to complete them. And then there are also a lot of lore items you can come across while leveling, and as much as you might be tempted to grab these as you go, you would get a lot more reputation if you wait until the Darkmoon Fair is available on Sunday. So if anything rewards rep, maybe wait until you can get the Darkmoon Fair buff, and while it's available, make sure you have the buff before handing in any juicy rep reward quests. Now, if you're still in early access at this point, endgame will be a little wonky, because a lot of stuff won't be enabled until the first real reset day after the full midnight launch. The dev team doesn't want early access folks to have any real power gains or advantages during their 4-day head start, so if you hit max level super early, you might not have a lot to do until the first reset day rolls around and enables all of the new endgame content. Some other bits and pieces might not come online until Season 1 starts up. It's not super clear when each activity or feature will be available for play, so just keep checking your world map each day when you log in and see what's active and what you might want to start working on. Keep your eyes peeled for those purple important quests and the blue meta quests, and they should point you in the right direction. If you have a bit of downtime, this is the perfect time to start skilling up your professions. The start of an expansion is a great time to make some gold with gathering and material farming, or you can try to get ahead with your crafting professions. For crafting, getting as many recipes as you can is going to be super important for the first time crafting bonuses. That's how you'll be earning a good chunk of your profession knowledge, and you'll need the profession moxie to buy up special recipes from the artisan vendors. You'll also want to keep an eye on when the patron work orders become available. These will still be a thing in Midnight, and they will once again be a large, repeatable source of profession knowledge, which will let you unlock even more recipes and get those higher tiers of crafted gear made. This is also a great time to start working on your alts and leveling those up. If you have early access and a lot of endgame activities are not yet active, you can use that time to level up your alts now so you aren't missing out on any endgame progression later. Just make sure you level up one at a time and get them to max level before moving on to the next one. When you reach max level for the first time, you'll get the Warband Mentor Midnight achievement. This rewards you with 5% bonus experience for every other character on your account, so leveling up your alts becomes much easier and faster, but the achievement stacks up to 5 times. So if you get 5 max level characters, everyone else on your account will get 25% bonus XP, which makes finishing off your alt army a breeze. So if you do want to spam level characters, make sure you're doing them one at a time if you want to be efficient about it. And then with the release of Early Access, there are a couple of Twitch promotions that you might be interested in. Starting on February 26th, if you watch 4 hours of WoW streams on Twitch, you can claim the Cuddly Alliance Blue Gurgle and Cuddly Horde Red Gurgle plushie decor items. So if you want more Murloc decor for your house, make sure you pop by Twitch. If you're feeling extra generous, there's also a new Support a Streamer event that starts up at the same time. If you gift 2 subs to your favourite WoW streamer between February 26th and March 26th, you can get the Fishmonger May pet, so that's something else to be aware of. But that's everything we would recommend you do on launch day and in the early access period for Midnight, so that's it for this video. What are you going to focus on first? How many characters are you planning on leveling up, and what endgame feature are you most looking forward to? Leave all your thoughts in the comment section below. A big thank you to all of our supporters over on Patreon and to all of our members here on YouTube. You can see the names floating by on screen. If you're interested in supporting the channel, you can find links in the description or click the join button just below the video. If you enjoyed the video or found it useful in any way, make sure to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you're always kept up to date. Thanks for watching, folks. Good luck and have fun, and as always, I will see you next time.